Title: The Man Who Turned $100 into Millions, The Untold Story. Imagine being completely broke, your bank account nearly empty, bills piling up, stress growing every single day, and everywhere you look, you see people online living better lives, luxury cars, beautiful homes, financial freedom. Meanwhile, you're calculating whether you can afford basic groceries. Now imagine having only $100 left in your pocket. That's it. No backup plan, no wealthy parents, no lucky connections, just $100. And a decision that would completely change your future. Because the man in this story didn't become wealthy through luck. He became wealthy because he understood something most people never learn. Money is not controlled by hard work alone, it's controlled by psychology. And the way he used that final $100 eventually transformed his entire life. This is the story of how an ordinary struggling man escaped financial stress and slowly built millions. Welcome to Next Gen Finance, where we break down money, success, and financial psychology in the simplest way possible. Today's story is powerful because it proves something important. You do not need to start rich to become wealthy, but you do need the right mindset. And by the end of this video, you'll understand the exact habits, decisions, and financial principles that separated this man from millions of others stuck in the same cycle. Before the money, before the success, before the freedom, his life looked completely normal. He worked long, exhausting hours, sometimes 10 hours a day, sometimes more. Yet somehow, at the end of every month, there was never enough money left. Every paycheck disappeared quickly. Rent, food, gas, bills, debt, and slowly, financial stress became normal. He watched other people succeed online and wondered, what am I doing wrong? Because he wasn't lazy. He worked hard, but deep down, he started realizing something uncomfortable. Hard work alone does not guarantee wealth. Millions of hardworking people remain financially stuck their entire lives. And that realization changed him. Instead of working harder, he decided to start thinking differently. That became the turning point. One night after work, he sat alone looking at his bank account. After paying all his bills, he had just $100 left. For many people, that moment would feel hopeless. But for him, it became motivation. Because for the first time, he stopped asking, why am I broke? And started asking, how do wealthy people actually build money? That question changed everything. He became obsessed with understanding wealth, not flashy lifestyles, not fake motivation, real wealth. He started reading books about investing, listening to successful entrepreneurs, studying businesses, learning financial psychology, and slowly, he discovered a pattern. Wealthy people think differently about money. Poor people spend money to escape stress temporarily. Rich people use money to create more money. That single idea completely changed the way he viewed every dollar. He realized most people are trapped in something dangerous. The paycheck cycle. Work, earn money, spend everything, repeat, over and over again. Society trains people to consume constantly, buy more, upgrade more, spend more, and social media made it even worse. Everywhere he looked, people were showing expensive lifestyles, luxury watches, designer clothes, fancy vacations. But then he discovered something shocking. Many people who look rich online are deeply in debt. They are not financially free, they are financially trapped. That realization changed his priorities. He stopped trying to look successful and started trying to become financially strong. While others spent money impressing strangers, he started investing in himself. The first thing he invested in wasn't stocks, it wasn't crypto, it wasn't real estate, it was skills. Because he understood something important. Skills create income, and income creates opportunities. So every day after work, while exhausted, he kept learning. Marketing, sales, business communication, online income strategies, investing basics. Most nights he slept only a few hours, but slowly, his knowledge started becoming valuable, and eventually, he earned his first extra income online. It wasn't much, but psychologically, everything changed. Because for the first time, he realized money could come from more than one source. That realization opened a completely new world. Now, here's where most people fail. The moment they start earning more money, they immediately increase spending. New phone, better car, luxury purchases. But he did the opposite. He kept living below his means, even when his income improved. Because he understood delayed gratification, he knew temporary sacrifice could create long-term freedom. So instead of spending extra money, he reinvested it. Again and again and again. He bought assets instead of liabilities, investments instead of status symbols, and slowly, those investments started growing. At first, the progress felt slow, very slow, but then something incredible happened. Compound growth started accelerating everything. His money started making money, and eventually, the system began working without his constant effort. That's when true wealth building finally started. Most people never become wealthy because they quit too early. They want instant success, instant money, instant results, instant luxury, but real wealth rarely happens quickly. It grows quietly in the background, and often, nobody notices until years later. The wealthy understand patience. The average person understands consumption. That difference changes entire lives. Another reason people stay financially stuck is fear. Fear of failure, fear of losing money, fear of starting. So they stay comfortable, even when comfort is destroying their future slowly. But this man understood something powerful. Temporary discomfort creates growth, and growth creates opportunity. Years later, the same man who once struggled to survive paycheck to paycheck had completely transformed his life. His investments generated income, his businesses expanded, his assets increased in value, and the stress that once controlled him disappeared. But the most important transformation was not financial, it was mental, because wealth changed the way he thought forever. He no longer saw money emotionally, he saw it strategically. Every dollar became a worker. Every investment became a future opportunity. Every skill became leverage. And slowly, the man with only $100 became a millionaire. Not because he was lucky, but because he developed habits most people avoid. So, the next time you think, I don't have enough money to start, remember this story, because wealth rarely begins with huge amounts of money. It begins with knowledge, discipline, patience, and mindset. Most people wait for the perfect moment, but financially successful people start before they feel ready. And sometimes, the smallest financial beginning can completely change your future. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to Next Gen Finance for more powerful money stories, wealth psychology, and financial education. And remember, the goal is not to look rich. The goal is to become financially free.